here at the Kessler booth with none other than Eric, and you know, you guys are always the ones I look forward to seeing the most because you guys have great innovation and stuff that's just for every price level. And I know that here, what we're looking at now is trying to bring something into a new realm for people that are just introduced to motion control and just introduced to wanting to be able to add another level of automation and movement to their shots.
Right. Yeah. I mean, obviously, sliders brought a lot to people's production values when they first, started becoming popular. And now when they had the sliders, they were always trying to get that perfect pan to go with the slide. So we came up with the Parralax system, which does that automatically for you, and it's a very simple system. It bolts onto any of our sliders, and you simply just adjust this rod in and out to point at your subject, whether it's 3 feet away or 30 feet away. You can adjust it and then lock it down, and now as you slide the slider, it just mechanically and perfectly slides the camera to stay on subject. Completely silent, and then also you can go the opposite direction and get a really neat effect called what we call travel pan, which is great for doing residential interior spaces as well as landscapes, where you have not only a sliding shot, but you have this kind of panoramic sliding shot, which adds a nice level of dimension to your production as well.
Right, and you're using your existing system, so if you've got a slider already, it isn't like, okay, this is our brand new slider that you got to have.
Right, originally that's how this got designed. We had the rod system built into this whole new slider, and then I was thinking, we already have thousands of people with their sliders are going to hate us because they're going to want this tool, but now they got to go buy another slider. So we decided to change that and go to an add-on device. This way it's available and it's less money, to do it that way, and it's more modular. You can tear it off there if you don't want it.
And this is initially just an analog, handheld system. You can do it by hand. You set in the tracks, but you're demonstrating here automated, and show us how the system works.
Right. So we just came up with our new motion control system. Obviously, we've had CineDrive, which is the end-all be-all 10-axis do-anything kind of system, but that's overkill for what most people need unless you're in the visual effects world. So what we came up with here, this is our new UniDrive. And it's a fully digital system like CineDrive, so full feedback, not stepper, so it's not noisy, it's not jittery like a stepper motor is, so it's completely smooth, completely silent. The slider motor has, instead of like our older systems where you bought different motors with different gearings, you just simply change out the quick change pulley system to get 3 effective different speed to torque ratios. So if you're doing vertical and you're lifting a heavy load, we have a gear for that. If you're doing interviews and you need to be super silent and barely even moving at all, or making any noise at all, then you would change to that gearing, or the pulleys for that. The system's very simple to use. You power it up, you put it at the start position, hit mark begin, in position, mark in, just like our CineDrive system, and then you can go to looping and you just say, I want it to go from here to here in 30 seconds or 20 seconds or hours, whatever you like, and it just loops back and forth. There's a ramping adjustment on there, so you can, whether you want it to really take a long time to speed up and slow down, or you can be a little snappier depending on your style of shooting. The controller has a built-in intervalometer, so it does have full time-lapse capabilities as well as stop motion features. And also you can use it as a manual controller like our existing basic controller. We also have it built in a built-in flashlight, so if you're in a dark studio and you're trying to set things up, or you're doing astro time-lapse and you just need a light to see, rigging up your camera gear, you can do that as well. So just some nice little features. It's magnetically mounted, so it just sticks right here to the slider motor. We also have a battery pack system that will magnetically stick in between these, so if you're doing unmanned interviews and you don't need a big battery pack, you're not doing 8-hour time lapses, you stick down and run the system for 3.5 hours.
Very nice. Now you've got some quarter 23/8 mounts here. What would you use that for?
Yeah, so we put these mounting holes on top. We have some other feature accessories coming out, some different brackets for different uses, and one of them would be you can actually use our flat mount adapter, mount the camera right on top of the motor, and then on the bottom side pop out that quick change pulley and put a 100 mil ball mount on the bottom, or 75 millimeter, and mount right to the tripod. Now you have a pan device, so you get some pan time lapses, or if you just want to do a gigapan type thing or something, you can do that as well.
Very, very small kit that you can take with you anywhere.
Yeah, lightweight.
All right, Eric, what about people that want more than just a pan?
Okay, well, it's a full 3-axis controller, so we also come up with our new UniDrive pan tilt head. We heard from a lot of our time-lapse guys and people are traveling a lot. The Revolution head's great for my crane doing live events, but it's way overkill for my little DSLR camera, and it's large, it's not easy to pack around. So we came up with this system. So this is a little pan, or it's actually a turntable, and it also acts as the bottom, as you can see here on our pan tilt head. And this is the tilt device. We made them to where you can take them apart, use them individually, and also for packing in your backpack. Only 4 pounds, so very lightweight, very powerful. It gives you a lot of versatility.
And so how would you set up a move like this?
It's very simple. Basically, right now it's a 2 or 3 keyframe system. So for all you would use is the selector arrows to move the pan, the tilt, and the slider into the first keyframe. Hit record where it says mark begin, go to the end, mark end, and then you just get looping, time lapse, or stop motion settings, and then you just have it run its course through that. So right now we have it looping, so it's just going from my mark begin position to my mark end. You can also add a third point on there as well.
So now comparing this to your other systems, because you guys have a lot to choose from, the Oracle controller, Analogue, you can record a move, but there isn't, you'd have to basically record it back and forth forever.
Right, yeah, that's where this just does automatic looping. It has full feedback on it. So unlike our analog system or stepper systems that are open loop, they're very predictable, but they're not perfect. A closed loop DC servo is actually, signals are going from the computer to the motor, and there's sensors on the motor reporting back, I'm here. And that way it's exactly on your mark every time.
Awesome. Eric, I'm of course a big fan of CineDrive, and you guys are keep upping the quality and upping the features for it. There are people that have been demanding a little bit more analog control, the touch and feel stuff, and now you have a solution for that.
Yeah, we have our new joystick control system. It's still in the prototype stage, but it will hopefully be done here in about 3 to 5 months is what we're targeting to have that ready to ship. Great system. You can tell it looks somewhat similar to our Oracle. It's a similar joystick, so it's going to have the same feel. It's the main core unit can control 6 axis. So you have up, down, left, right, and twist, and then you have a shift, which will give you 3 more axis control. Okay. And also we have these jog wheels. They just magnetically stick onto, grab this one, onto the cage. And as you can see here, you have their full jog wheel for pulling focus for live use, or even just for setting up a move. You have your temporary stop-start points, and you also have your removable marker and magnetic stops that are adjustable internally on that. So it's pretty customizable to meet anybody's ergonomic needs.
Now, so the big thing about this is just being able to, instead of going through and setting each keyframe individually, drag one, you can just be a lot faster and more intuitive just by
a little more organic too. And you can even record your motion as to where right now you're recording keyframes and the computer's kind of driving through there, and all that's really smooth. It isn't always natural the way that a person would move something. So there's almost some small imperfections that a person would do with a joystick. So you can actually record the actual path that way. So it might come off with a little bit more of a real.
Sure. Or if you want to add that, like if you want to actually make it look like it was a handheld tripod or something like that.
Yeah, you
trying
could,
to keyframe that would be.
Yeah, it would be. Yeah, you probably could, but this will actually organically record that path.
Right.
And if you happen to make a mistake that you didn't want, you can always go into the editor and clean it up.
Now you've also added this. This is a great tool for people that want that tangibility, but you've actually added that functionality to your new iPad app as well.
Right. So we have a full analog control panel, which is basically everything this is, but in a virtual sense on a touch screen. So you can still hold iPad minis are great. They have virtual joysticks on there. Even the accelerometer will work. You put your 2 thumbs down, and as you tilt it, it tilts the head, which may or may not be that useful to most people. But the jog wheel on there is nice. The sliders for pulling zoom, as well as the joystick is really good.
All right, Eric. Everybody's been asking me personally what my favorite thing about NAB is, and right now it's staring me in the face. Okay. So tell us a little about the system that's going to be coming out sometime soon.
Yeah, this is our CineDrive motion control crane. It's actually our existing crane. It'll work with our 5, 8, 12, and 18-foot cranes. But it's a motorized device that basically is raising and lowering the crane, and also a panning device that's in there. That all breaks down into 3 very easy to pack up pieces that'll fit in a small Pelican case. And obviously, we're doing the pan, tilt, head, and stuff like that. We want to keep expanding to give users more tools in different dynamic ranges, to do this. So this is going to give you motion control jib shots. This right here is just our prototype, but we do plan on having this available hopefully by midsummer as well. So. And
you'd be able to mount the pencil head.
Yeah. This has a 25-pound payload on it, so that means you could mount the CineDrive head with most common cameras, strip down red, things like that.
Awesome. So what's cool about this for me is that I already own the jib, so it isn't like investing in a whole nother system, and it's using the equipment that you have, so then you don't have a lot more equipment just lying around.
Exactly,
as well.
And that's always our philosophy with all our products. How can we make it everything work together? So if you already own our crane, you just buy the motorized device for it, and it works with it.
Awesome. Well, thanks for your time, Eric.
Great, thank you.
Special thanks to our sponsors for making our NAB coverage possible.